So when I was a kid, I watched this cartoon. It's called Kim. If you're a real OG, you know what I'm talking about. It's about an orphan in India, basically trying to survive and going through life learning valuable lessons. If you watch this cartoon, you learn so much stuff about life. This particular episode came to my mind the other day. I was watching the George Yanko and Tate podcast, which I recommend you to watch, and they talked about depression. There are two types of people in this world. You can be broke or you can be broken. So if you're broke, you can work hard and blah blah blah, basically become rich. But what about the people who are born rich? They might have all the money in the world but still be broken, don't you agree? There are problems in this world which you can solve with some money, and there are problems which you can solve with lots of money. But what about if, like I said, you already have all the money in the world but you're basically unhappy? When you can basically buy a brand new Ferrari every single day to the rest of your life, but you're still unhappy. When you have this type of money but you're, like I said, unhappy, you're probably broken. Obviously this video is not gonna be watched by someone who can buy a Ferrari every single day to the rest of their lives, but I'm making this video for all the young men who think that all their problems can be solved with money. I mean, you're not wrong, but stick to the end, you'll find out what I'm talking about. If you're watching a content like this, chances are you're going to be successful at some point in life because you're working hard and being on self-improvement, and I'm actually rooting for you and trying to help you. But let me tell you a story from this cartoon that changed my life. So like I said, Kim is an orphan who basically runs around the streets of Lahore. It's a city in Pakistan. In one of the episodes, he somehow became guests in one of those really rich families in the city. They lived in a gorgeous castle, and the parents had a son who was the same age as Kim. They become very close by the fact that Kim was teaching the kid different kinds of tricks because he is actually from the streets, and the rich kid very rarely leaves the castle. He's so rich that he has private teachers, chefs who cooks for him and everything. But all these things contribute to the child not having a clue about the outside, the real world. It's like this kid is kept in a golden cage. So they are playing around and Kim brings the rich kid on top of his own castle. They're basically sitting on a really high roof and enjoying the view. By the way, the rich kid was never allowed to do such a dangerous thing, and it never really crossed his mind. They were all fine, by the way, but this moment changed the rich kid's life. His whole life he was down in the garden of the castle playing around, or actually inside the castle. But he never really looked at his castle from that high above. He was never aware of the actual beauty of his castle and the actual outside world. He had all the money, he had all the resources, but he didn't have the freedom that Kim has. He was living in a beautiful castle and he wasn't aware of that until Kim showed him and actually opened his eyes. So that is the real difference between broken people. If Kim didn't come to the rich family castle and didn't show the kid the way to get on the top, he would never been aware of the beautiful sunset he's able to watch from the top of his castle. That's the problem in living in a golden cage. You might be surrounded by gold, but what does it mean to you when you're in a cage? If you're broken, or in other words, if you're in a cage, it doesn't matter if it's a diamond cage, golden cage, or just a steel cage. You are stuck inside, however. So what can we learn from this episode of a really not famous cartoon but a high quality one? You see, the rich kid had everything he wanted in life, but wasn't actually happy at all until Kim came around and taught him the lessons about the real world. And by the way, the roof was there all along, but it was unknown territory for the rich kid, so he never really dared himself to go on such a scary place. You know why he thought it was a scary place? Because his parents told him was. They tried to keep him safe, but by doing so, they were keeping him from actually finding about the real beauty of life. From that moment on, the rich kid spent every single day waiting for the beautiful sunset on the castle's roof. I'm sure you have someone like the rich kid's parents who keep you from seeing the beauty of life. I'm not saying they don't mean good for you. Matter of fact, they think the best for you is to keep you in a golden cage. Maybe it's your parents who are not allowing you to sign up for the martial art classes. Maybe it's your friend who invites you to play that stupid game on your computers. Maybe it's your grandpa who is forcing you to eat bread with every single meal because you'll stay hungry. Maybe it's your parents who say you must go to university. None of these people think badly of you. The thing is, they don't know any better. I want you to ask yourself, do you want to be like those people? I know this sounds horrible, but if your parents aren't successful, do you want to be like them? The real answer is no, my friend. Don't let anyone keep you in a golden cage. Don't let yourself get comfortable. You feel depressed, it's because you're bored, my friend. Find your passion. Find something worth living for. I found my passion in making this type of videos and helping young men around the world. I make these videos so when I have children, they'll be able to sit down and watch how their father taught back in the day and actually help lots of people. Sit down in a dark room, turn off any device and stare at the wall. You'll get bored 2 minutes in, but trust me, keep going. Try to get some alone time with your thoughts, but don't be a victim of them. Analyze them. Watch them from above like they're just clouds passing by. You will find your passion and you will work hard to achieve it. If this video helped you, do me a favor and share it with someone who will find it helpful too. And don't forget to come back for more videos like this.